Hi, my name is Scott, and I'm a recovering addict. I went from job to job, relationship to relationship, caused my parents and my family untold grief because I kept borrowing money from them. I kept lying to them, making up stories. I probably deserved about 5 or 6 Oscars. And finally, in about 1985, I was forced into treatment by my family. A treatment facility, a 28-day program, which I didn't want to be in. And so what did I do in the 28-day program? I didn't listen. In fact, I snuck my girlfriend into my room at night because for about a week I didn't have a roommate. And I used to open the window and I had my girlfriend sleeping with me in the room at night, and she would leave before we had to get up in the morning, before the counselors would come around. 3 years later, I went into treatment again. And it didn't work. I forgot exactly what I did, but I didn't feel I belonged there. I didn't feel like I had a problem. And I got out of there, and I had more jobs. And I spent untold thousands of dollars and caused more grief to my family, and my life became more unmanageable. And there was more lying and more stealing and more misery. And by 1991, I started smoking crack. My drug use had gone to drug addiction. And I was a mess. The interesting thing about Jack was that he recognized that I had a problem before I did. The interesting thing too is that he was able to cut through the denial of addiction, which is very, very strong for somebody who's in active addiction. So he arranged for me to go to this treatment facility, and when I got out, Jack was waiting for me, the job was waiting there, and it was a very supportive environment. Today people care about me. I care about people. I'm connected with a group of recovering addicts. I help other addicts. I feel like I have purpose in my life today. And I owe that all to people like Jack, who is there for me out of the goodness of his heart. You know, it wasn't because he wanted me to be productive at work. Because remember, he fired me when I started using again. It was because Jack Levine really cares about people. He loves people. He loves God. And he loves people. And as a recovering addict himself, he can reach people who are otherwise unreachable. He can consult with family members because he too has a family member in recovery. So Jack knows all the sides. Jack knows what it's like to be in recovery. Jack knows what it's like to be a family member of someone in recovery who has a hard time getting it. Jack's a husband. Jack's a father. Jack's a businessman. He's all of those things. He's everything that people in recovery could ever want.
Hi, my name is David D'Agosta. I met Jack Levine in 1999. I was 22 years old, and I was at a place in my addiction where I was isolating a lot from people. I had basically shut myself off from the outside world. And through the church, Jack approached my parents saying that the Lord had put me on his heart, and he wanted to make contact with me. Now, my parents asked if he could have my phone number, and of course I said no, because I wanted to resist that as much as possible. I didn't know who he was, so I tried to shut that down. And Jack, being Jack, he wouldn't take no for an answer. So he then wrote me a letter and shared his testimony with me. And he shared his testimony with me in such a way that when I heard it, it impacted me a lot. And I held on to it even though I really wasn't ready to reach out and to call them. Then I ended up in the hospital a couple weeks later, and when I regained consciousness in the hospital, the first person I saw in the hospital room was Jack Levine. And somehow or another, it was a spirit inside of me just letting me know that that's who it was, because before he introduced himself, I knew it was Jack. And he took a special interest in me, and I was honored because it meant a lot. He's been a really good friend and brother to me. He actually encouraged me to seek help and to go to treatment center. And when I actually followed the direction instead of relying on what I thought was the good idea, I found that things got a lot better, and my relationship with the Lord grew. And now, 15 some odd years later, I still have the ability to go to my brother and to talk to him, and I have that personal relationship with the Lord, which was shown to me how you walk it out with a brother. A brother, iron sharpens iron, and my brother's shown me how you can lose sight of things, how to be an encouragement. He's taught me a lot, and he's helped me a great deal and my family. The Lord is truly working on Jack's heart, and he is using him to help not only me, but other brothers and sisters as well. And I'm very thankful that the Lord has placed him in my life.